Good morning, America. Looks to turn out to be a nice day, hopefully. Welcome everyone to another Peak Bagger series. We are on the Pacific Crest Trail today, and we're going to be bagging Highland Peak and Silver Peak. They are pretty big in this area, pretty dominant. Just under 11,000, both of them. And we're here with two other peak baggers. The temperature is very mild. We're expecting lows in the low 50s and highs in the maybe upper 50s. So really interesting. A little bit of a heat wave coming through the area, but there's also going to be a lot of wind. Apparently gusts of 25 plus. But yeah, sit back and enjoy. Going to be on the PCT for a little while, and eventually we'll hit Noble Lake, where we'll fuel up on some water resources. So come along, enjoy. Now here's a thought. So I think we follow this up into this area over here, and then we ultimately, I think, go up to Highland. I think that might be Highland. I know the sun's horrible right now for video, but and then I think we drop into a saddle here, and then this is Silver again, I think. And then we drop back down into the saddle, and then we coast out this canyon into the exit. So right now that's what I'm thinking, but there could also be Silvers behind that, and meanwhile that's Highland. So interesting, just to again see the topography and the terrain features and realize exactly where you're going. Well, a little status update. We are now heading, we're still in the PCT. We passed a junction that went to Noble Canyon, which you sort of can see how it goes through that notch over there. But we've also just now emerged from the forest and its shade. It's 9 o'clock. I'm feeling a little bit of wind that I mentioned earlier, and that's a good thing. That'll cool us off. Yeah, so this is interesting too, because now I can actually use the we, because I'm actually hiking with other people versus by myself, and I still say we. But yeah, it's gorgeous landscape. Cool little shadow there, and very interesting rock formations. So yeah, we'll keep on hiking up until we get to Noble Lake, and then we'll peel off from there. These trees kind of remind you of sort of like the bristlecone, ancient bristlecone trees. So we spotted Jolly. our fearless leader. She's up there somewhere. So in typical PCT fashion, there's tons of switchbacks, but the amount of work that he must have put into this to cut through a lot of this rock is quite another amazing feat of trail maintenance championship. But yeah, there she is right there. Oh! Yeah, this is quite impressive. Well, at 9:20, we reached Noble Lake. And how noble it is. Very beautiful. So we're gonna pause here for some water filtering and move on. Very beautiful. Say hello.
Hi. Thank you for leading this hike. It's so gorgeous, and we saw the trail crews who are restoring the trail. Hats off to them.
This is the campsite. It's not a campground. Right next to Noble Lake, and somebody has cut a nice little area to a place where you can grab water. So, all right, we have peeled off the PCT. The wind is picking up. Sorry if I'm yelling. One of the things that was interesting was, again, from the place where you actually filter water in the campsite. You just go across the PCT and start hiking in. We're now beginning to do a little bit of backcountry bushwhacking and probably start heading up that. So we are the dark line following the yellow line. And we're seeing some rock stacks that are helping us out, but I mean, if you didn't know, if you weren't following a particular GPX track, I mean, come on, you get to this and you're like, well, where the heck am I supposed to go at this point? Look at that cave in there. We're heading up there, but we're hoping it gets a little easier. Enough people have done this where they have stacked rocks, and we come across a fairly well-worn trail. I know, it doesn't look like a well-worn trail, but it is. I'll show you a little bit about how we're getting through this stuff. I guess we're also getting our first true glimpses of Highland and the saddle and silver. So, may I introduce you to Highland Peak? Yeah, that's crazy. And there's silver. Okay. Alrighty. And I'm assuming that's the canyon that we're gonna eventually descend down to the vehicle. Fun, huh? Well, that was hard. We were able to find the trail, and after a very steep climb, I think this is a bit of a reward, right? Reward that you can almost see what they're trying to do. They're putting us on this ridge, and I think that's a lot more doable. So yeah, but now we go back to being exposed to the sun. Yeah, look at that. That is Reynolds Peak. Now they talk about the last part of it being crazy exposed. I can see why. It literally looks like a trout or a fish jumping out of the rock. All right, Sid has joined the group. We are now together as a trio. I'm bookmarked by a 7-summit mountain climber. Tons of experience there. Look at that slope, folks, and that view. And then, of course, coming up, but certainly no last place person, is Jolly. She's conquering all the mountains and peaks out there. She has 10 to go. After this will be 8 for her Tahoe Ogle 63 list. So, believe it or not, after these two, she actually proposed to me that we should do that one next, tomorrow. So there you go. That's how crazy peak baggers are. So normally you just see me or somebody hiking way ahead of me. But we finally taken a break right below the summit of Highland, and we have a chance to catch up and introduce you to the 2 other peak baggers that are with me today. So here is Sid and Jolly. Sid, where are you from?
India.
And when did you move here?
2010.
All right. And how long have you been like hiking and climbing?
Ever since I moved here.
Is it true that you've summited all 7 summits of the world?
Yes.
Yes, all right. And Jolly, where are you from?
Bangladesh,
And
Flat
when-
Island,
When did you move here?
1992.
All right. And what's you're just on a quest to climb all kinds of peaks, aren't you?
Yes.
And how much do you love hiking and climbing in national forests?
If you give me choice, I'll stay in forest forever. I don't want to go back to civilization.
All right. Well, thank you both for being on this trip, and these are 2 great people that you can meet when you come out into your national forest and enjoy the outdoors. We split decision on a route that came up. I can see why they went that way. I came up here, which ends in that. You can't go any further. And then I guess you just kind of, well, we'll see. There's a bit of a scramble after that first part, and we had to, I put gloves on, I crumpled or collapsed my poles to make it easier for rock scrambling, and then we broke out of that right there. We're at this part, and you want to see, I don't know what's in the other side of this, but it could be a big letdown. Oh, that's it. So there you go, all summit. That might be, yeah, that's Highland. That's Highland, and silver and silver. So yeah, that's the big letdown. You think it's a summit, and it's not. It's a false summit. But pretty clear now where we have to do. We kind of knew this. It's important to do your research so your morale doesn't get crushed. There you go. You're on GoPro. It's 12 o'clock and Jolly and I are standing on the south summit, if you will, of Highland Peak. Now it's a crazy rock scramble down and route finding and hand over foot. I mean, you have to go underneath this branch We need a trail maintenance crew out here.
Yeah. Gosh.
So we kind of go through all this, and yeah, we should be in the clear. That is, whew, I guess a bit of a south summit, if you will. That's Jolie. She's rocking and rolling. And when you get to the top, there's a small little area you can get away from the wind. Sid's been here for an hour waiting for us. All right, here we go. Humboldt-Toiyabe Stanislaus National Forest. Enjoy! I feel my photography and videography is holding up the crew, and me also. But we came down off of Highland, rock scrambling, what have you, same stuff over and over, but we're hugging this massive rock outcropping as much as possible. Sid's doing a great job and steering us the right direction. It's very tedious, exhausting, but there's the saddle, and there's Silver's two peaks. So the wind is now becoming relentless and sapping, energy sapping. All right, well, you know I'm not in a good mood, but I should be once we get down to the saddle and get some food and what have you. But yeah, this one's just becoming a little too much. It's 2 o'clock, an hour since we left that crazy summit. That's Jolly coming down. Wind is pushing us around. is 4 o'clock. Again, Sid destroyed it and got onto this an hour ago. There's Jolly! From over there. Top of Silver Peak, or at least one of the Silver Peaks. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend! Here we go. The top of Silver Peak. Highlands in the background. That's it, folks. What a wonderful day. 45 mile per hour winds under national forests. Get out and explore. And make sure you take care of yourself. Recreate responsibly. We're heading back down. It's time to get out of this place. It's time to get out of this place. If it's the last thing we do. Alright, so Jolly still has a smile on her face, still climbing things. Oh boy. And she's 51, folks, 51. Alright, we've come down from Silver Peak.
The rock.
We've,
That's like a horse.
it does look like a horse or a bear. And we're heading back to the peel-off point where we can descend down the saddle this way versus going back, because that's just ridiculous. So this will be interesting. Again, this is a shuttle hike, and that's actually really neat because you don't have to go back the same way you came. Alright. We're coming like literally straight down. There's a bit of a path, but it's sometimes difficult to follow. I mean, we're dropping quick. I believe that's Highland. There's the sun. We're trying to beat the sun, as always. We have found the trail that will take us down to Noble Creek. That will take us out through Noble Canyon. That'll take us to our vehicle. Yeah, so since I have time, I'm gonna go over some things. For instance, I have new boots, and this is the first time that being used. They're great. I did cover my feet in Luco tape. You might want to look into that if you ever get blisters. This stuff is amazing. It sticks to your feet like glue. And it's a pain to get off, but you're basically providing your feet a second skin for everything to rub against versus rubbing on your skin. One thing I did earlier on in the hike was I tightened the laces around my ankles to pull back my foot away from the front so my toes don't jam too much, which is what's happening right now. We're down, basically just going down, 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 down. And what you don't want is you don't want your toes slamming into the toe box. Highly recommend cutting your toenails before hikes, or you'll lose a toenail. Everything, yeah, I have like spring gaiters on so I don't get stuff down my boots. There's a bunch of different companies that you can wrap your shoe or boot with. That really helps it out. Helps it avoid getting stuff in your boot. Everything else worked. I mean, the gloves worked and the sun protection. I have a hoodie. And